And while Milley is free to answer questions about treason, Lieutenant Colonel Scheller, who rightfully criticized the catastrophic exit from Afghanistan, sits in the brig in pre-trial confinement while he awaits a hearing. His attorney, Tony Busby, joins us now. Thank you, Counselor, for joining us. So just update us, sir. Colonel Scheller sits in the brig, still uncharged?
Still uncharged. We don't know what his charges will be. We're supposed to learn that tomorrow in some sort of hearing that's going to take place. His spirits are high. He appreciates the support that he's received across the country. I want to point out a few things if I could. Number one, General Milley, some could say that the comments he made to the various book authors was critical of the president, maybe two presidents. All Colonel Stu did was, after the fact, ask for accountability for the fact that the way that withdrawal was done was botched. 13 young service people died, and having worn the uniform myself, I can tell you that he spoke truth. He spoke what many service members and people in the public felt, which was this was done wrong, this was done poorly, and somebody needs to be accountable. And even in the testimony that we saw yesterday in front of the Senate, we saw a pass the buck amongst the generals. The generals now blaming President Biden instead of taking responsibility for what happened. So this man is a hero. What they've done to him is wrong. 17 years of honorable service. He offered to resign. They refused to let him resign unless he accepted a discharge that wasn't honorable. And that goes against everything we learned when we became Marines.
So Counselor, tell us, what are the potential charges for Scheller, and what type of punishment or fines is he looking at? Imprisonment? What is he looking at possibility of?
They're floating around, and again, they haven't formally charged him, but they're floating around conduct unbecoming of an officer, which I think is asinine on his face, because this is exactly what you expect somebody with backbone and a Marine officer to do: speak his mind. When he's called out on it, he offered to resign honorably. They wouldn't allow him to do that. He could perhaps be charged with violating an order, but let's not forget the orders that you receive as a Marine officer. You follow them if they're lawful orders, and I would respectfully submit that a broad gag order is not lawful. So those are probably two of the charges that they're thinking about bringing against him, and the punishment. It could be anything. I mean, certainly could be jail time, or it could be some sort of discharge under other than honorable conditions, and that would be a great travesty for a man like this, who's dedicated 17 years of his life as an infantry officer, who's trained young Marines, who in every command that he's been involved in has been one of the best, has been widely respected by his peers and his subordinates. This is a Marine's Marine. He's 3 years away from retirement. He's facing losing retirement, losing his rank, losing everything, and perhaps losing his liberty. So I hope everybody will step up. A lot of people have stepped up. We're finally receiving some support from Congress. We had a few reach outs this morning from a few members of Congress, not only Congress people, but also from the Senate. So hopefully this is going to turn, and people are going to realize what's going on here, which is the top brass trying to avoid responsibility for something that was very badly done. And the only person so far that's been held, quote, accountable is the Marine who had the guts and the gumption to speak out against something that everybody knew was a complete flub up.
Indeed. And it's amazing. We have a general, the top general in America, who picks up the phone and calls the Chinese communists and colludes with them behind the President of the United States back. Yet he sits a free man, and Colonel Scheller is behind bars for simply saying he didn't like the way things were being handled after 17 years. And by the way, family man, 3 kids. Guys, get behind this story. Folks, get behind this story. Call your Congress people, call your senators. Tell them to call Mr. Busby and the Scheller about the Scheller case. Get behind this guy. He needs to be out and free right now. Tony Busby, thank you for being here.
Hey, I'm Rob Finnerty. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please join the conversation in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, too. Hit the bell icon to be alerted to breaking news. And remember, there's a whole lot more on Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news network. Newsmax TV, where real news for real people.